Ghost Prep ties it up.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.
Hello everyone and welcome to the campus of Holy Ghost Prep, where we have high school lacrosse action between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the Springfield Township Spartans. I'm Caden Stewart. I'll be the voice of today's broadcast between the Firebirds and the Spartans. And HGP looks to come in and bounce back after a blowout home loss against Abington. So both teams meeting at center field to exchange good luck and to figure out who starts with the ball, or figure out how the game will start. So we'll be back in a minute with a start between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the Springfield Township Spartans. Both teams ready at opening face-off from midfield. And the face-off will be won by the Firebirds in their home white and blues. On the road is Springfield Township in their away navy blue. Starting with the ball, Will McCann. McCann looking for help. He goes back to the original passer. At the top, Schultz. Schultz down low. They find Razzler around the X. Razzler had a lot of action against Abington, and he starts early with the ball. Now they go back up to the top. Pass down low to McCann. McCann across to Tom Walsh. Walsh down low. The Firebirds moving the ball around. They struggle with time possession in the first half against Abington. They have not given up the ball yet. Here's Walsh. Walsh with the move, and Walsh fires one just high. And it sails off the back fence, but the Firebirds will keep possession as Josh Razzler is right there. Razzler looking to apply pressure. He spins, looking to get a shot on goal, finds an opening and fired a shot, and it was saved by number 1 Carter Weiss in goal. So the first save of the game belongs to Springfield, as Weiss made the save. Now one bouncing shot by Walsh, saved again by Weiss, and Weiss this time corrals the rebounds. Springfield with the ball for the first time today, and the first man to touch it drops it along the near side, and that is Dom Devers. Springfield still with the ball near the net. It's Kevin Bui. Bui goes to the top. Looking for help yet again in Springfield. Over near the far side by their own bench. They cut back down to the X and go back to Bui. Bui goes to the top again. Springfield can't get anything going offensively. Good defense by the Firebirds, especially to Chico and net. And now a loose pass, bobble, great hit by HGP's Tommy Walsh, and now the Firebirds on the move. Walsh with the pass. Wyman fires from the top of the key, and the shot is saved by Carter Weiss, getting his third save of the day early on. Springfield on the move again with Jake Sullivan. Sullivan makes a man miss. Now it's Mateo Ringgold. Ringgold into traffic. They filter out to Bui, open on the far side. Bui to the top for a reset back to Sullivan. Now it's Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick with the pass out. Fitzpatrick across to Bui again. Bui to Sullivan. Sullivan, Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick charging in, looking for an opening. Fires one. It's a good dump-off pass. And a one-bounce shot just skittles by. Mateo DeChico goes out of bounds. And the Firebirds made a valiant effort to win the race out of bounds. But to no avail, as Bui will start with the ball for Springfield Township. Still scoreless through about 4 minutes of action. Springfield looking to change that on their current offensive possession. Mateo Capaferni with the ball. Capaferni to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to Bui. The return feed to Fitzpatrick. Capaferni near the top to Ringgold. Ringgold on the check back. Now cutback going in, and what a save by DeChico. Off the shot by Gabe Fleur. Bounced right over the net after bouncing in front of DeChico. And Chico makes his second save early on. Capaferni across. More good coverage against Ringgold. He gets the pass back, goes back to Capaferni. Capaferni wants and fires, and he scores. Capaferni breaks the scoreless tie for Springfield, and it's 1-0 with 7:34 to play in this first quarter. The Capaferni strikes first for Springfield, and it's 1-0 Spartans. The Firebirds struggle for the most part on defense against Abington. And they got off to a little bit of a rocky start here. Just 4.5 minutes into the game, allowing the first goal. And the faceoff will be whistled off as it was a violation going against Springfield. And Holy Ghost gets back on offense. McCann had it to start. McCann with the pass down. They go across, and the Firebirds passing around the top of the key. HGP makes a move, fires a shot just wide. And Razzler, well, he's right there again, and he keeps the Firebirds in possession. Razzler on the move, a pass up to the top, and it went right through the stick of Gavin McDonough. Now here comes William Shapley on the move for Springfield. Shapley checks it down to Capaferni. Capaferni to the top. Mateo Ringgold now. Ringgold across to the far side. Now back down to the middle underneath the net. Thomas Koppel, the pick set by Bui. Now the pass back to Bui. Bui shuffling and Sutter stepping back behind the net. Springfield trying to reset, but more good defense by the Firebirds on the perimeter. Here's Springfield on the move, a shot, and it's saved. The shot coming from Matthew Capaferni. Here comes HGP after the good defensive stand. The Firebirds on the move. The pass coming from Schultz. Now Williams forced to go back. Razzler retreating back to his spot at the X. Drops it off, and he went right to Gavin McDonough. McCann takes the pass along the near side, the bottom right corner. They shoot back to the top of the key. Schultz to the top once again. The Firebirds on the move with McCann. McCann looking for an opening. He'll go back around the net. Finds Razzler open. Pardon me, Schultz. Schultz around the side to Razzler. Razzler with a spin. Pressured out, staying alive. Fires a shot and he scores. What a beautiful goal by Josh Razzler on the spin. Finding the slot at the 5-hole and tying the game up at 1 with 4:58 to play in the first quarter. Razzler, the sophomore, cuts the Firebirds on the board to tie the game up at 1. Here comes McCann. McCann cutting through. Fibers look to reset after winning the faceoff. It was Tom Walsh across. 4:30 and ticking to play in the first quarter. Schultz with the ball. Schultz coming in. Pass to 2/3 line. Fires a shot and it caught the top of the net and he scores. Jacob Anilov gets the Firebirds on top. It's 2-1. 2 quick goals in under 45 seconds of action for the Firebirds. And they have bounced right back after the struggle on defense early. It's 2-1 HGP with 4:22 to play in the first. The fourth faceoff of the game is still loose. A nice check by Walsh, and he quickly whistled off right after Springfield Township got the ball. They will retain possession with Mateo Ringgold at the top. Ringgold checked back out by Tom Walsh. Ringgold around the edge. It winds up in the hands of Bowie. Bowie on the move. He gets the return feed. Bowie cutting in. Now he fires the top with a shot and it just trickled wide. And it goes out of bounds back behind the net. It was Jake Sullivan getting his first shot of the game. Not on goal just yet, but about 2 feet to the left, and it would have been. Now Sullivan wins the battle again at the top. He'll check it down. Springfield going around the horn at the bottom again. Good defense by HGP to keep them away from the net. Now a loose ball, quickly picked back up by Capaferni. Capaferni the middle, shot, and he scores. A great recovery goal by Matthew Capaferni, his second of the game. He has both for Springfield, and they have tied the game up at 2 with 2:55 to play in the first. So Springfield will switch face-off men as they sub off Colin Pennington. Waiting to see who they bring back on. So substitution will not play face-off. That'll be Mateo Ringgold's job for the moment. And they brought back Jake Sullivan. Ringgold in the battle for the face-off. A loose ball picked up by HGP. Snapped away. Here's McCann. McCann cuts through. McCann across. He finds Schultz. Schultz on the pass back. Schultz cutting in. One bounce pass. It bounced just high of Carter Weiss. And out of play. Razzler was closest to it, so the Firebirds start with the ball again. Here's Razzler being pressured out. He had the first goal of the game for HGP. Schultz to the top. Schultz falls, gets back up. He lost the ball in the process. And now it's Springfield who has it. It was a great strip off by William Shapley. Shapley lost it. Picked up again by Springfield, who heaves it all the way down. And it's finally recovered by HGP. Here's Brendan Schultz. Schultz finds DeChico. DeChico way out of his own net. That's not uncommon for the sophomore. Here's Ryan Lippy. Lippy with a great pass. Now Anilov gets the return from Schultz. Anilov to McCann. And back from McCann. Now Anilov on the cut. Anilov with a shot. And it's a net save by Carter Weiss. Or sorry, stick save by Carter Weiss. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold around the sideline, staying in bounds, toe tapping. Ringgold doing it himself. And he drops it off to Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick had knocked way out of play. Bui was by far the closest man to it. And once again, Springfield will stay with the ball. 1:06 to play in this first quarter. 2-2 the score. Firebirds evading an early deficit, or at least a substantial one, unlike they did the last time against Abington. Now Ringgold drops it off to Capaferni. Capaferni at the bottom of the net. Finds one in the middle. It's Adam Fleur. Fleur to Bui. Bui on a spin, being pressured out. Looking to come back in, and he's forced to drop it off. He finds Brendan Anderson. Now on the move goes Colin Pennington. Pennington on a cut, one bounce pass. Hit the side of the net. DeChico is able to pressure it out. And now he'll pick up the ball and drop it off. Springfield misses a goal by only a few inches almost. And now here come HGP. 2 seconds play, one with a shot, and it's another stick save by Carter Weiss to end this first quarter. McCann took the final shot, again a stick save by Weiss, and your score remains through the first 12 minutes. The Firebirds 2 and the Spartans 2. We'll be back in a minute for the final 36 from Frantic Memorial Field, the last game at Old Frantic before renovations. We'll talk about that later on at halftime, but for the moment, it is a 2-2 game through the end of the first quarter. Both teams ready at midfield for the opening face-off of the second quarter. Loose ball picked up by HGP. It's a quick one bounce pass over to Holt. Holt on a spin. He drops one down. On the move, Schultz to the net, and it's a great save, 1-on-none. McDonough went to the net, and it's a save by Weiss to keep the score tied at 2. And now Weiss picks up the loose ball, and Springfield with a chance to reset. The play will be whistled dead as the ball trickled out near the sideline of Springfield. And HGP holds on to offensive possession. So earlier on it was Jake Gardner taking it down, not Mike Holt. Gardner had a brilliant move to get the ball near the net. Now here's Schultz. Sorry, McDonough. McDonough with the pass out. It's Razzler. Razzler back to McDonough. Now Anilov. Anilov crosses a loose ball. Gardner couldn't corral it for the moment, and it just goes out of bounds. Springfield takes over. So here's a one bounce pass down to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with another one bounce pass to Floor. Adam Floor, that is. Floor on the move. Taking quite a few stick checks from Lippy. Floor pressured out. Floor on the drop to Capaferni. Capaferni being boxed out. Now a spin. Capaferni with a shot. Saved to Chico. It bounced off to Chico's stick and off the post. And Springfield regains possession. Now a big hit. And a flag comes up. The hit was applied on Jake Sullivan, the sophomore. And a flag was thrown immediately. .9:54 to play in the second quarter. It's a 2-2 score. And now the Fibers will be a man down. So here's Mateo Ringgold. Ringgold across the floor. Floor back to Ringgold. Ringgold looking for the pass back. Didn't get it from Capaferni. Now Capaferni finds Fleur. Fleur with a shot, and it was deflected. At least the stick was deflected before it got there by HGP's defender. Fleur taking it again. Now it's over to Ringgold. Ringgold on the return. Capaferni couldn't corral the pass. Now a loose ball picked up at the top. Fires down to number 33, Floor again. Floor cutting in, knocked away. Loose ball in front of the net. Another big hit by HGP. The ball's still loose and possession awarded to Springfield. Fitzpatrick starts with it. Gets the pass back. Out across the floor. And Floor on the loose ball. Possession stays with Springfield as the Chico couldn't win the race out of bounds. 8:52 to play in the second. The score remains tied 2-2 through the scoreless second quarter. Jake Sullivan again. Sullivan on the drop back to Floor. Floor on the spin. Being pressured back. Drops it off to Capaferni. Capaferni on a spin and a stutter step backwards. Keeps it in play. Capaferni lost the ball. He'll pick it back up. Lost the ball again. The ball staying loose. Ryan Lippy with great defense. The ball lofted up in the air, and HGP picks it up. DeChico takes the check down pass, and he fires down to the far side. Here's McDonough. Got McDonough down the far sideline. Looking for help, he'll reset. McDonough gets the pass back. Out across to Tom Walsh. Walsh to Razzler. Razzler down low, Anilov. And back to the top. Anilov to Walsh to Razzler. And once again, it winds up in the hands of McDonough. McDonough to Anilov. Walsh on a shift with Anilov. Now Walsh on the move. Walsh drops it off a shot. The stick was hit. Loose ball out in front. Lofted up into the air. Still loose. And neither team can seem to come away with it. Finally, Springfield appears to have picked it up. And they bring it out along the back. They drop it back into the hands of Carter Weiss. Weiss quickly got out of the way. And now it's Springfield on the move. The Spartans charging forward. Here's Fitzpatrick. And a timeout was called by Springfield. 6:39 to play in the second quarter. It's the Firebirds 2 and the Spartans 2. And there's been no goal scored through the last 5 minutes and 21 seconds as both teams' defense has been on point, looking to continue that through the final 6:39 of the half. So after almost 5.5 minutes of scoreless action here in the second quarter, it's Springfield starting with it. Adam Floor slings it out to Matthew Capaferni. Capaferni to the middle. There's a one bounce pass to Adam Fleur. Fleur on the spin. Drops it off. It goes right through the stick of a Spartan. That was Sullivan, and it's quickly picked up by HGP. Here's Holt on this cutback. Holt on the spin. Another spin move. And it's whistled off. Springfield will take possession again. Here's Fleur. Fleur taking it down. Here come the Spartans on the attack. HGP's defense has been relatively solid throughout the majority of this game after the 2 goals by Capaferni early. Now it's Capaferni again. Around the side to Bui. And it winds up in the hands of Peter Thauner. Thauner the third. To Capaferni again. Capaferni to the top on a reset. and Colin Pennington. Pennington on a check down to Ringgold. Ringgold back to Fleur. Fleur fires it out to Ringgold. Ringgold to the middle, shot, and did it sneak in? It did. Springfield gets the first goal of the second quarter. It's Colin Pennington, the sophomore, sneaking it through the legs of DeChico, and it's 3-2 Spartans with 4:48 to play in the second. So the faceoff is quickly blown off, and Springfield takes over. Springfield goes on the move with Capaferni. Capaferni, they go back up to the top to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the spin, back to Capaferni. Capaferni out to Bowie. Bowie thought about a check down, they go back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on a pass down, back to Capaferni now. Here's Fleur. Fleur to Capaferni. Capaferni had the ball knocked away. Good defense by HGP's Holt. And Holt picks it up. DeChico way out of his own net. Holt will do it himself. Holt down along the side. Now the pass back to go back to the top. And they have Jude Walsh. Walsh on the drop back. Gives it to Anilov. Anilov back to Walsh. Walsh across to Anilov. Anilov the pass down to Razzler. Razzler finds McDonough. McDonough now to Walsh. This time Tommy Walsh. And that Walsh gives it to Anilov. Anilov on the move, drops it off. Back out to Anilov, who lost it. Loose ball is picked up by Springfield. And they're forced to retreat back to their own net and drop it off to Carter Weiss. Weiss out to the long pole on the far side. Now cutting back near the near side to the middle. The pass may have been deflected down. Springfield retains possession anyway. And the pass is looking for his Patrick is intercepted by Tommy Walsh. Walsh on the move. Taking it himself. Walsh to the net. Shot saved by Weiss. Now a jumble for the ball off the rebound from Weiss's save. And Weiss picked it back up. Weiss finds William Shapley. Shapley's stick was hit. It's picked up by Springfield. And they come along the near side. It's Fitzpatrick on the move. Fitzpatrick's shot goes off the post. Forced to almost pick it up now. And it's out to Ryan Lippy. Lippy across. Here come the Firebirds' offensive attack. And a timeout called by HGP as the Firebirds were on the offensive along the far side. 1:22 to play in the second quarter. The Firebirds looking to avoid a scoreless second quarter. And Springfield, with the only goal so far of this quarter at 3-2, lead it by 1. 1:22 to play in the first half. It's Springfield by 1, 3-2. So the Firebirds start with the ball through the final 78 seconds of action here in the second quarter. Razzler on the pass back from Anilov. Now they reset. Anilov across to Walsh. Walsh on the pass back. Back to Anilov now. Anilov on the check down. Slinging it out to to Jude Walsh again. And Jude Walsh with the pass back. And now gets the return. Walsh on the move. Out to Anilov. Anilov, Razzler. Razzler to McDonough. Back to Razzler. Razzler across to Anilov. Anilov on the cutback. Anilov winds and fires. Shot. And saved by Weiss, who's had a lot of them. 19 seconds. 18 ticking. Weiss still with the ball. Sneaking out of his own net. Lofts it downfield for Adam Fleur. And a whistle sound as Fleur's shot went underneath the stick of DeChico. The HGP sideline not happy at all. Appeared to have been miscommunication by one of the players and a coach. As with 9.9 seconds to play here in the second quarter, it still remains a 3-2 Springfield lead, and the Spartans have possession. Here's Adam Fleur. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds. Fleur with a shot. Saved to Chico. Loose ball. And HGP with one last defensive stand of the half. Lippy took it out of the net to make sure there was no rebounds. And your score through the first 24 minutes of action. The Springfield Township Spartans 3. Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 2. 24 minutes of action coming from Frannick Memorial Field. The last game from Frannick. And once again, it's the Spartans leading by 1 through 24 minutes. All right. So 3-2, Springfield Township with the lead through the first 24 minutes of play in the first half. Now the second half takes over, 10 seconds in, and it's McCann starting with it. McCann out and finds Walsh. Walsh to the top, finds Gardner. Gardner down low, Analov. Analov back to McCann along the near side. McCann on the move, finds Tommy Walsh. Walsh back to Schultz. Schultz to Gardner. Gardner to Walsh again. Now McCann along the near side. McCann to Schultz. Schultz on the cutback. Loose ball. And picked up by Analov. Analov had the ball stripped away. Now it's Springfield to pick up. Springfield across the 2/3 line. Fitzpatrick on the move. Fitzpatrick got checked down. That was a wide open look for Kevin Bui, but he just couldn't bring the pass down. And HGP takes over on offense with Jake Gardner starting with it. $10:51 to play in the third quarter. 3-2 Springfield Township leads. Here's Analov. Analov cuts across from the far to near side, drops off to McCann, gets the pass back. Analov to Walsh, to Gardner. And a pass down, finds Schultz. Pardon me, finds McDonough. McDonough to Analov. Analov to McCann. McCann to McDonough. McDonough one bounce pass across, finds McCann again on a spin. Now pardon me, it's Razzler. Razzler across to McDonough, gets the pass back to the top, finds Walsh. Walsh on the spin, shot save. Weiss, loose ball. McDonough almost brought it in. Still skittering away. And a great check by Gardner. His stick came loose as it was knocked out of the hands of a Spartan, and said Spartan was Colin Pennington. And now a hand goes up after a collision just inside the 2/3 line. And now Springfield goes on offense. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold gets the pass. Ringgold is checked down immediately. A great hit by HGP's Analov. Now pass down the middle of the shot. Saved to Chico right off his helmet. It was Capaferni, who's been on fire, scoring 2 of the 3 goals for Springfield today, who took the shot. Kevin Bui gets the pass. Bui on a spin. Bui to the and he scores. Kevin Bui finishes the job, and Springfield Township takes a 4-2 lead with 9:02 to play in the third quarter. Kevin Bui, who has touched the ball a lot today, finishes it off right in front of the net, and it's 4-2 Springfield. So after the face-off, after the 4th goal of the game by Springfield, the Firebirds pick it up right off the turf. Here's McCann. McCann on the move, looking for help, and he goes over to Jude Walsh. Walsh patrolling the top. Drops it off, and they go to McDonough. McDonough to Razzler. Razzler on the check down, finds Walsh along the near side. Jude Walsh on the spin, finds an opening. Walsh winds and fires, deflected out in front. And almost picked up by McCann. Now it is. McCann directs Walsh inside. McCann on a spin. He drops it off and it goes back up to the top to Anilov. Anilov across to Razzler on the far side. Razzler a cutback. Josh Razzler cutting in. Razzler the net off the post. Almost a foot away, or less than a foot away from his second goal of the game, and that would have made it a 1-goal game. Here come the Firebirds on the move. Around the back, a spin shot. Loose ball saved by Weiss. He didn't know where it was. Walsh trying to scutter it towards the net, and he couldn't. He just couldn't get enough of a stick on to get any momentum towards the net. And just like that, Springfield comes out of it, allowing no goal. Now HP around midfield to pick it back up. The Firebirds back on the attack. Wind up shot. Deflected out of bounds. And Springfield has the ball. Or pardon me, Ghost has the ball. And now quickly Weiss gets it back for Springfield. Weiss around the front of the net. Weiss shuffling up. He drops it off. He went to Sullivan. Sullivan being boxed out. And now it's Mateo Ringgold around him midfield. Ringgold on a cut. Ringgold drops it off behind the back pass. What a sequence, and he couldn't finish. Bowie had the ball with a wide open look. Just couldn't finish at the end. Here's a Chico around the back. Mateo de Chico floats it up, and just a little too tall for Razzler on the far side. With that, Springfield takes back over. Here's Springfield. They drop it off to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick out across. Here's Adam Fleur. Fleur on a spin. Fleur with a shot, and it just goes wide. Springfield will get it back. Here's Fitzpatrick again. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold out to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick around the near side to Sullivan. Sullivan goes around back. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold on the offensive attack, looking to reset, goes around the top of the key. Whistled off, and it's HGP ball. The Springfield sideline unhappy with a missed call. The would have gone against HGP, but the Firebirds take over regardless. Holt drops it off to McCann. McCann out to the side to Tommy Walsh. Walsh out to McCann. McCann to the top, finds Walsh in the middle. Anilov scores! Jacob Anilov from the top. A beautiful sequence off the pass from Tom Walsh. And the Firebirds back within a goal. It's 4-3 with 4:22 to play in the third quarter. At 4:22 to play in the third. The Firebirds back within the goal. It's 4-3. Their first goal since 3 minutes were remaining in the first quarter. So it's been a long time for HGP. Maybe that brings back an offensive spark. Analov gets his second of the game. The other one of the three scored by the sophomore, Josh Rasler. Now here's Ringgold. Ringgold taking it up. On a check down pass. It goes out to Peter Fowler. Fowler lost it after the whistle blew. And now here's Bui. Bui on the move. And the play blown dead again. Play picks back up. Springfield remains with the ball. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold out across Fitzpatrick. Down low, Capaferni. Capaferni being pressured back. 3:20 to play. Capaferni out to Ringgold. Ringgold down low, thought about a cutback, decided not to, being pressured out along the far side. Ringgold on a drop ball, finds Bui. Bui back behind the net. Out to the side, has Fleur. Fleur under pressure again, being pushed out. Fleur on the spin, got hit hard. Pops back up, being pressured out, and fires it. He's won a goal by Fleur. Over the stick of DeChico. And just like that, Springfield back up ahead by 2 after the great goal by Adam Fleur, unassisted from the top after almost being knocked down. And as he was falling, finding the corner. And it's a 2-goal lead for Springfield. Here comes the face-off. It's a loose ball around the top. Scott Harkins looking to pick it up. And now he finally will. Harkins on the move. Harkins thought about charging, decided not to. That's passed back out to the top. Tom Walsh across to McDonough. McDonough back up to Analov, who has two of the three goals today for HGP. Analov down low. Walsh to the middle. Shot. Save. Loose ball. McCann need to get it to the net in time. He did not. And it's picked back up by Weiss. And the play quickly blown off. HGP will stay with possession. Analov has it. Begins a charge. Analov with a cutback shot just over the net. But the Firebirds win the race out of bounds with McCann. McCann on the run. Being boxed out. Fires a shot. And saved by Carter Weiss. May have bounced off of his helmet before it got into his stick. Either way, the no goal scored by HGP. Now a shot saved DeChico. Going right after the shot of Capaferni. DeChico lost it way out of his own net. And great defense by HGP to evade an open net goal. But a flag goes flying. Uncertain who that's on. And there'll be a timeout called by Springfield. 1:13 to play in the third quarter. It's a 2-goal lead in favor of Springfield, 5-3. So both teams going back into their spots during this special game from Frantic Memorial Field. The last game at this particular field before it's redone. The field, track, stands, lights will be added. And we'll have primetime Lax games coming to you live from New Frantic next season. For right now, this is the last game being played at Frantic from the spring sports season. And Springfield has the ball as the pass is knocked away from Ringgold looking for Fitzpatrick. .45 seconds and ticking as Capaferni has the ball. Capaferni out to Fleur. Fleur to Ringgold. Ringgold checks it down over to Bowie, and Bowie couldn't corral with a stick. Ball still loose. As a fiber was pushed down, that was Caden D to his force to the ground. But he'll pop back up, and now it's HGP on the offensive attack. Here come the Firebirds cutting through. Walsh took 2 hits of his stick, spins twice, now he's free. Walsh checks it down, has McCann. McCann back to Tommy Walsh. Walsh to the middle, one bounce pass just wide. One bounce pass turned into a shot, it was just wide of the net. 6 seconds to play, HGP holds on to it. Here's Razzler in hurry-up mode. Firebirds to the rim, blocked out. Razzler made contact with the net post as the shot went just a little high. So that is how the third quarter comes to an end. The Firebirds get 1, which is 1 more than they had in the second, but still not a lot of action through the last 24 minutes offensively for the Firebirds. 36 down, 12 to go, and Springfield Township leading 5-3 over Holy Ghost Prep. Go through 36 minutes of play from the last game at Frantic Memorial Field. It is the Springfield Township Spartans 5, the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 3. Both teams exchanged goals in the third quarter after only 1 goal was scored total in the second by Springfield. And immediately a flag goes up after a high hit by a Firebird. Not sure exactly who it was, but the flag goes up just 7 seconds into this fourth and final quarter. Here comes HGP. It's Fitzpatrick on the pass down. Patrick got the Fleur. Fleur with a one bounce pass. There was a shot, one bounce shot that bounced right over the net. Mended by DeChico. And now Bui picks it up. Bui on the pass back at the Capaferni. Capaferni at the Fleur. Fleur lost it. Loose ball. Holt couldn't pick it up. Holt still trying to pick it up. Still loose. Springfield picks it up now, finally, and the whistle sounds. As for all that, Springfield can't even hold on to the ball as HGP takes over after the whistle. Holt with the pass out. Here's HGP. Up along the far side. The Firebirds go in motion. Here's Anilov. Anilov out to Walsh. Walsh on the pass down to McDonough. McDonough gets the return feed. McDonough out to Walsh again. Walsh to Anilov. Anilov, a one bounce pass out to the far side. Is dropped for a second. Now it's picked up. Here's McDonough, fired out to the side. Took a second for it to be corralled. Now here come the Firebirds up along the back. Near the X. Here's McCann. On a spin. Out to the top with a shot. Save Weiss. The ball's still loose. Razzler going to try to pick it up. He can't bring it in. The ball's still loose around the net. And now a jumble back even behind the X near the sideline. Somehow staying in bounds was Razzler. He got knocked down immediately. And now it's Springfield on offense. It's a long pole pass to start. Down the far side of the field goes Springfield. After a little bit of a check, here's Thauner. Here Thauner had knocked away. The Firebirds on the offensive attack. Here's a pass out, one bounce shot just wide. Razzler took the shot. Little off target, went out of bounds. And HGP stays with the offensive possession. McCann goes the opposite way of the calling. Razzler out to the middle, shot! Somehow saved by Weiss. And now Razzler on the rebound, finishes it off. Anilov somehow was robbed of a hat trick. And Razzler found an opening. He has his second goal of the game. And it's the Anilov and Razzler show for HGP. They both have 2, totaling all the Firebirds 4 goals. They need one more. It's 5-4 Springfield as Razzler gets his second. Here's a ball knocked away around the top. Picked back up by HGP. Here's Walsh. Tommy Walsh on the move. A one bounce shot just wide. Wide and a little high as well. And there's Razzler again, wins the race out of bounds. He's been everywhere, scoring 2 goals. And hovering around the X to make sure the Firebirds win a few possessions back. Razzler out to the side, has McCann. McCann to the top, they go across. McDonough on the cutback. McDonough check down, finds Razzler. Razzler being pressured out. Razzler has his stick caught, can't really move his arms around. And possession stays with the Firebirds as Razzler is jumbled up. The Firebirds have the ball to start after the whistle. Here's a shot to the middle. And it was Razzler trying to get through a crowd of sticks. Couldn't finish it off. And Springfield takes over. Springfield on the move. McCann with a steal. McCann took it away from Jake Sullivan. McCann again losing it. Lofted up into the air by HGP. And now Springfield takes over around midfield. And just like that, the Firebirds take back over. Razzler couldn't corral the pass, but he'll win the race out of bounds easily. So even though Razzler won the race out of bounds, it's Carter Weiss, the goaltender for Springfield, starting with it. Weiss well out of his own net. He'll heave one downfield for Adam Fleur. Fleur looking for a lane. He's boxed out. Drops it off to Mateo Ringgold. Ringgold back to Fleur. Fleur with a Capaferni. Capaferni has 2 goals of his own. The third player and only one on Springfield to have a multi-goal game today. Here's a pass down. Capaferni boxed out, and he had a good look. But the Firebirds have more good defense, courtesy of Holt. Bowie back to Capaferni. Capaferni to Fleur. Fleur now on the move. Fleur boxed out. Adam Fleur on the drop off to Capaferni again. Capaferni on a spin. He went down. DeChico ready for a shot that never comes. The top of a stick fell off. It appears the top of someone's stick fell off. Not sure who it was. And it was Ryan Lippy for the Firebirds. HP a man down for the moment. They'll get him back. Adam Fleur with a shot and a save by DeChico on the man up. Now the Firebirds get their replacement back in. We're back to full strength on both sides. Here's Pennington. Pennington at the Fleur. Fleur on the pass across. Here's Capaferni. Capaferni to Fleur. Fleur boxed out for the shot, just wide. And it goes out of play. .5:51 to play in regulation. It's 5-4 Springfield in a back and forth goaltender ruled matchup. The Firebirds start with the ball on offense. After the whistle. And the play is blown dead. Springfield gets the ball right back. So here's Bowie starting with it now for Springfield. Bowie across to Pennington. Pennington down low to Adam Fleur. Fleur on the move. Fleur with a shot just wide for Chico. And it stays with Springfield. Here's Capaferni. After the missed shot, the Firebirds take back over on offense with Tommy Walsh. Walsh crossing midfield himself. Now Walsh being triple teamed. He'll stay with it, float it down from McCann, and makes the one-armed stick catch. McCann throws to Anilov. Anilov to McDonough. Back to Anilov. And out to Walsh again. Walsh to Anilov. Back out to Walsh. We'll drop it down low for McCann again. Here's a spin. The Firebirds on offense just couldn't finish the job there. But the Firebirds stay with it after the shot, and McCann picks it up. McCann to Walsh. Walsh to McDonough. Out to Razzler. Razzler on the move. And the play will be blown off. Now Firebird forced to sub off. Not sure who that is from this far away. It might be Jude Walsh. Here's Anilov. Anilov on a pass down. On the move, finds Razzler. Razzler on a cutback. Had the ball knocked away. Out to McDonough. McDonough shuffles it out. Anilov on the spin. Anilov being pressured out. Drops it down low. McCann. Flag goes up. And a shot, and he scores! The Firebirds put one in the back of the net to tie the game up at 5 with 3:18 to play in regulation. McCann gets it home. The first Firebird today not named Razzler or Anilov to score a goal. And he does it in a clutch situation with 3:18 to play in regulation. And the score is now tied up at 5 between the Firebirds and the Spartans. .318 to play in regulation. It's 5-5 tie. Springfield wins the faceoff. Bowie being pressured back. Bowie floats it up. Adam Fleur. Fleur knocked down. And a whistle is given against Springfield. As Lippy floating it down for McDonough. McDonough to the middle. Now out across to Anilov. Anilov out to the side. Gets the pass back. Anilov from the top. Shot off the post. Just missed a go-ahead goal. And now it's McDonough who corrals in the rebound with 2:23 to play in regulation. Here's McDonough, winds and fires. Shot blocked out in front by his Spartan. McDonough looking to get his own rebound. The ball's still loose. McDonough picks it up. And a timeout called by HGP after McDonough came out with possession. 2:10 to play in regulation. As the Firebirds 5 and the Spartans 5 are coming down the wire from Frantic one last time before renovations happen and new Frantic comes out next year. But for the moment, the Firebirds are looking to enjoy this time while it lasts in a 5-5 tie against Springfield with 2:10 to play in regulation. So a 2:10 to play in regulation. It's a 5-5 tie between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the Springfield Spartans. Anilov starts with the ball for HGP. He goes across to Gardner. Gardner down low, McCann. McCann to the opposite side. Now I guess the return feed. Back out to Gardner. Gardner to Anilov. Anilov makes a move, being pressured out. Checks it down. McCann brings in the pass with 1:45. Back out to Anilov. Anilov making a move in. Makes a miss and he scores! Anilov the hat trick. And a clutch third goal to give the Firebirds their first lead of the game. It's 6-5 with 1:35 to play in the fourth quarter. (6-5) Firebirds lead off the hat trick goal by Jacob Anilov. And with 95 seconds to play, HGP looking to secure the victory over Springfield Township. Both sides ready for the face-off, which the Firebirds hope will be the last one of today's game. Here's the ball loose, picked up by Walsh, and the play whistled dead. The Firebirds sideline dumbfounded by the call as Springfield takes over. This could be Springfield's last chance on offense to tie the game. The Firebirds lead it for the first time today, 6-5. Here's Ringgold. Ringgold checked it down to Fleur, and a timeout called by Springfield. 1:17 to play in the fourth quarter. It's the Firebirds 6, the Spartans 5. And HGP looking to secure the victory here in the final 77 seconds. (6-5) Holy Ghost Prep leads with 1:17 to play in the fourth quarter. Jacob Anilov getting the third goal of his hat trick to make it that way. He scored the first, third, and sixth goals today for HGP. Rasler scored the second and fourth, and it was Will McCann getting the fifth in the back of the net for the HGP. Here's Adam Fleur. Fleur making a move in. He spins out of a defensive play. Shot goes just wide of DeChico. And the Firebirds win the race out of bounds with Holt. Holt on the pass on the drop back. A flag goes up. Here's Walsh. Tommy Walsh on the move. Walsh cutting back. Nobody can bring him down. And midway through a final spin, the play is blown off. 49.5 seconds to play in regulation. Firebirds lead by 1, 6-5. So McDonough starts with the ball for HGP. 42 seconds and ticking to play. McDonough being pressured out near the sideline. Near the baseline. Still being pressured out. Can't find anyone open. Razzler waiting for a pass. McDonough finally gets rid of it. Drops off a slow bouncing pass to McCann, who goes to Anilov. Back to McCann. Down low. And the play was whistled dead. It appears to have been a timeout called by HGP. And it was. 25.3 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. It's the Firebirds leading the Spartans 6-5. .3 seconds remain in regulation in this matchup between the Firebirds and the Spartans. McDonough gets the opening pass after the whistle. McDonough out to Razzler. Razzler across the Firebirds are just looking to kill time. They go to the middle. It was a great look by Anilov, looking for his fourth goal. He's looking for a call. He can't believe that there wasn't a call. 11.2 seconds to play. Here's Springfield. It's a huge heat with 5. Waiting for 4. DeChico picks it up as time expires. And that is how the final game from Frantic Memorial Field will end. The Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds win in dramatic fashion 6-5 over the Springfield Township Spartans. Jacob Anilov, your game MVP, with a hat trick, including the go-ahead and eventual game-winning goal with a minute and a half to play in regulation, to put the Firebirds ahead by 1, which would be the eventual final score of 6-5. Next year, Frantic Memorial Field will have all the bells and whistles of a real stadium. Lights, new stands, new field, new track, new everything. And we look forward to that here at HGPTV. Your final score, one final time from Frantic Memorial Field. The Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 6 and the Springfield Township
Holy Ghost Prep ties it up.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.